Okay, so looking at lowest common multiple, there's 2 or 3 different ways you can find the lowest common multiple. The case I'm going to use here is doing a multiplication of both 4 and 14. If I just times them out, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and so on. Doing a 14 times table, 1 14 is 14, 2 is 28, 3 is 42, but I don't need to go any further because you can see we've got 28 and 28. It's the first time that 28, the same number is in each of the times tables. So 28 is my lowest common multiple. It's the first time that any number is the same in both times tables. Now, the alternative way of doing it is the sausage method, which is a link that I've left on the VLE. Doing the same thing, this time 4 and 14. This time we're going to do like a multiplication grid, and I know a number that's going to go into both of those will be 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4, and 2 times 7 gives me 14. There's no number that will go into 2 and 7 other than 1, so we've finished doing the multiplication. Anything that is in this column here, you would multiply together to give you your highest common factor. So your highest common factor going to heaven, heaven being H, so that's just going to be 2. On the other hand, the lowest common multiple is timesing those together. Now you can see that that sort of like makes an L. So L for lowest common multiple, 2 times 2 times 7, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 7 gives me 28. So hence the lowest common multiple is that one. You can use whichever method you want to use. What I'm going to suggest you do now is pause the video and give it a go. Okay, welcome back. So, working through these, 18 and 21, I know 3 will go into each, so 3 goes in 6 times and 7 times. Nothing else will go into that, so I end up with 3 times 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42, and 42 times 3 is 126. Second one, 10 and 25. Well, I know 5 goes into both, 5 goes into that twice, 5 goes into that 5 times. Again, I can't do anything else with that. 10 times 2, 5 times 5 is 25, sorry. 25 times 2 gives me 50. So my lowest common multiple in that case is 50. Now this one, I could think that 2 goes into it, 4 goes into it. So let's say I'm going to take 2 out. That's going to give me 14 and 12. I could take another 2 out of it, which is going to give me 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 times 6 is 12. 6 and 7, I can't do anything more with, so I'm finished. So I've got 2 times 2 times 7 times 6. Again, 7 times 6 is going to give me 42. If I double 42, it gives me 84, and double 84 gives me 168. Okay, 2 goes into 24 12 times, 2 goes into 42 24 times. 6 goes into 12 2 times, 6 goes into 24 4 times, and 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. So I end up with 2 times 6 times 2 times 1 times 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 2. 2 times 6 is 12. Times 2 is 24. Times 2 is 48. So 48 is that one. And the last one, well, I know 10 goes into each of those. 10 goes into that 7 times. 10 goes into 20 2 times. Nothing goes into 2 and 7, so again I'm finished. 10 times 7 gives me 70, times 2 gives me 140. Okay, onto the worded question. In this case, one bus has a route that takes 25 minutes. The other bus has a route that takes 55 minutes. So I'm going to try and calculate it exactly the same. I know 5 goes into 25 5 times, 5 goes into 55 11 times, so I'm finished. Nothing else will go into 5 and 11. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 11. 25 times 11 would be 0, 1 times 5, 1 times 2, 2, 7, 5. So I know that this question means 275 minutes before they intersect, and that is starting at 6 AM. So 275 minutes is going to equal 60 minutes in an hour. So how many 60s in 275? Well, 4 hours would be 240 and leave me 35 minutes. So it'd be 4 hours, 35 minutes. I'm going to add that to the 6 o'clock, so that would be 10:35. Now if I go back to the My Maths and put that one in, 10:35, and then mark it. You can see I've got one wrong there. 24 and 42. What did I do when I calculated it? Let's have a look. 24 and 42, 12. That would be 21. You see the error I've made? Half of 42 would be 21, not 24. So that would be 160. Okay, now for the second part of the homework set. We've got 5 8s and 7 15ths. Again, I'm trying to find out which fraction is bigger, but it says I've got to use the lowest common multiple. So what I'm going to do is try and find out the bottom number, get the denominator the same. Okay, so 8 and 15. Okay, there is nothing that goes into 8 and 15. Okay, so I'm going to have to times them out. So 8 times 15, because 1 is the only thing that goes into it. Okay, so 80, 120 would be the base number. So 120 on the bottom. Now I've times the 5 by 15, and I've times the 8 by 7. So 5 times 15 is going to give me 75. 8 times 7 is going to give me 56. So my biggest one is 5 8s. Doing it via lowest common multiple. The second one, I've got 11 15ths, so I've got 15 on the bottom. 13 20ths, so I've got 20. Now I know 5 goes into each. 5 will go into that 3 times. 5 will go into 20 4 times. I can't do any more. So my lowest common multiple in this case is going to be 5 times 3, which is 15, times 4, which is going to give me 60. Got 60 on the base of each fraction. And again, I've got 15 times 13, and I've got 20 times 11. Now we have to be careful with this, because we've only got 60 at the base. So I can't times 20 and 11 together. I've times the whole of this fraction by 3 to get to 60 as the base. So my 13 times by 3 is going to be 39. This fraction I've times by 4. So 4 times 11 gives me 44, times in the whole of that by 4. So my biggest fraction is going to be 11 out of 15. So if we quickly go back to here, and we know it's going to be 5 eighths, 11 fifteenths. I can remember what the numbers were: 44, 60, 39, 60. Bottom number was 120. 120. This one was 56. And the top one was 75. Again, see your summary, and you can see the only bit I've got wrong is that to the lowest common multiple on the first question. Finish and close, and that would be your second part of your homework. Hope that's of use. Any problems, please email me and let me know. Thank you.